everyone, this is Joanne coming to you live from Texas, someone also known as #UnicornBoss. So as you guys are jumping online tonight, go ahead and hit me up with some unicorn emojis since those are my jam. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. So super excited tonight, you guys. It is Win It Wednesday. So typically on Win It Wednesday on my page, I put a post out and I ask you guys to ask me your keto questions, and I pick a few of the responses that I get and I chit chat about them on the live feed tonight. So super excited to share with you all tonight. I know I'm going live like super late. It's actually midnight here Central Time. Quick, short, funny story though, but one of my best friend's dogs got sick very suddenly, so I was gonna go live around 8 o'clock Central Time. I had everything all ready to go and I had to duck out and run to the animal hospital. Thank goodness everything was okay, so we're fine, you guys. But I still wanted to come back online once I got done tonight and still do the video with you all. So that's why we're late tonight, so I know a bunch of you guys are going to be jumping on the replay. So tonight we're going to be talking about some great keto questions and keto topics. I've got somebody was asking about what do I do if I'm not losing weight fast enough. We had another great question about blood pressure, and we're also going to talk about overeating and food boredom. So super excited to share with you all. So I see a bunch of you guys jumping online. Welcome. Go ahead and say hi. Let me know where you're coming in from. If you're grabbing me live, go ahead and leave me a number 1. And if you're catching me on the replay, go ahead and leave me a number 2. Thanks for sharing, Shauna. I so appreciate you, and thanks for the love, Amber. Yes, everything's gonna be okay. We were a little worried there. She stopped breathing, so it was pretty scary. So by the way, if you're keto, go ahead and comment keto in the comments. Let me know how long you've been keto. For those of you that are brand new to me, welcome. My name is Joanne. I've been keto over 1 year now. I'm down over 60 pounds. I recently just hit into a size 6 jean and pant. So I'm super excited. I'm super passionate about the keto lifestyle. Just love keto and what it's done for me. So if you're keto, make sure you share in the comments. And if you're a brand new friend, go ahead and comment new in the comments so that way I can circle back around and say hi to you. So yeah, thank goodness we were all here to, everybody drove down to make sure that those two were loved and supported. So let me say hi to a few people real quick and then we'll go ahead and get started. Make sure you friend me and follow me if you haven't yet, and give the video a quick share. I so appreciate your love and support. Feel free to share me to your favorite keto groups. I would love to make some brand new keto friends and keto connections. So if you click on the bottom here, it will pop up. You can do follow and see first, and then if you click the 3 dots, you can turn on your live notifications. So let's see who we have here. Some night owls like myself. We've got Shauna, Michelle, Leah, Amber, who else? Lori, Marie, somebody else, I just missed their name. Sorry, it popped up really quickly here. Brenda, Ernestine. So welcome. So happy to have you guys. So Amber saying she's been keto for 3 months and loving how she's feeling back to keto again. So awesome. I'm so happy for you. Thanks for sharing, sweet sister. So, oh my goodness, you guys, my own puppy now is gonna want me to hold him. So I don't know. We'll see how this does. This is like his new thing, and he climbs up on the counter. So we'll hold him for a little bit here. So everybody say hi to Bean. Bean's a little movie star here. Hi. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with the content. I know tonight's crazy, you guys. Sorry, thank you. Just know that I love you from the bottom of my heart, and I'm excited to go over these keto questions with you all. So first question that I had was Sharon asked me, she said, I've been intermittent fasting for the past month and doing lazy keto, but I'm only losing 1 pound a week. So what am I doing wrong? So I think this is a really great question. You know, a lot of times people seem to reach out to me and they say, you know, I'm just not losing weight fast enough. So I kind of don't believe in that kind of thing. I think it's really important not to compare yourself to others in their journey, because you just really don't know what certain people are going through. Like, you know, some people may suffer from PCOS, so their weight loss is going to be a little bit slower than perhaps other people. So you just really don't know what's going on in everyone's personal story and in their personal journey. And I always say, even if you lose 1 pound the whole month, 1 pound of fat, I mean, this little guy is 7 pounds. Yeah, say I'm 7 pounds. So if you were gonna lose 7 pounds of fat, I mean, he's a hefty little guy, you know what I mean? So there's, I don't know, I just think everything should be celebrated. So, and I think so often we focus way too much on the scale. So, you know, definitely go off of photos, go off of inches, make sure you're measuring yourself. I do weekly photos just to kind of see the progress, you know. I actually, for those of you that don't know, I recently moved from New York to Texas, and in the move, my scale didn't make it, and I'm actually not planning on buying another one because I'm getting so close to my goal weight right now that for me, watching the fluctuation of the up and down with water weight has been it can be a negative thing. So I'm having a lot of fun right now, just kind of releasing that pressure of what the scale says and just really enjoying the journey of, wow, my pants fit better, my shirts fit better, like wow, and taking photos, like I said. So let's not try and worry so much about what the scale says. Definitely divorce yourself from the scale, please. But I thought we should talk about, because this person in particular said that they are lazy keto. So there's 3 different types of keto that you can be doing. We do strict keto, lazy keto, and dirty keto. So feel free to share with me in the comments what kind of keto you practice. I am strict keto myself. I really enjoy the keto lifestyle and fully embracing it, but I fully support everyone on their own journey. I think you have to make the right choice for your body, and everyone ketos a little bit differently. So make sure you share with me in the comments what kind of keto you do. I would love to hear about it. And for those of you that are brand new, I figured I would start with going over what the differences are between strict, lazy, and dirty keto, so that way we can kind of understand what that means, and then give a few recommendations for somebody that is unhappy with their weight loss progress. So yeah, I'm seeing so many of you guys are like over the scale, and that makes me so happy. I love it because it's just such a negative thing, you know, and water weight is a real thing. You will go up and down. You will ping pong a little bit. You will get to experience the whoosh effect, you know, so who cares? I mean, if I fit into, one of my goals is by the end of the year, I want to fit into a size 4. So if I fit into a size 4 and I gain 10 pounds because I'm gaining lean muscle, do I even care? Like, no, of course I'm not going to care. So don't worry about the number so much, you guys. So first things first, strict keto. So what's strict keto? That's somebody that stays between 20 to 25 grams of total carbs. They monitor all of their food and their macros typically, and they eat clean. So you try and always make the best keto choice possible out there. They also typically like to track their macros, which you guys know that I love to track my macros, even though I haven't been doing it lately. I do really enjoy the process of tracking macros and what that's done for me on my own keto journey. So if you love tracking, go ahead and comment track in the comments. I would love to meet other people that to connect with on the Senza app that enjoy tracking. So basically, strict keto is a really great option for people to ensure that they are hitting their keto success markers, and for those people that really either struggle to lose weight or want to lose large amounts of weight. So for me, strict keto really feels good to me. I really enjoy it. Sometimes I do a little dirty keto here and there. I think dirty keto is fine in moderation. So, but we're going to talk about that next. So let's go to lazy keto next. So is anyone out there lazy keto? If you are, comment lazy in the comments. I would love to see that. So lazy keto also tries to stay under 20 to 25 grams of total carbs, but the difference is they don't track their macros. They don't track their calories. They're basically just focusing on carbs. So they watch where their carbs are, and the rest kind of like they don't care. They don't worry about that at all. Whereas me on my journey, I really need to make sure I'm getting up over 100 grams of fat every day. Otherwise, I will just stall and I will stop losing weight. So that's the difference. Does that make sense? If it does, go ahead and give me some hearts right here, and you can give me some hearts in the comments. So, lazy keto is nice for people, I think, especially if you're brand new. It's kind of a nice way to simplify keto. So start slow with keto, do some lazy keto, and then once that feels comfortable, you can kind of raise the bar a little bit and then go more strict keto and get more intense on your keto journey and get a little bit healthier, which I really love. So It's great for simplifying so that way you're not overwhelmed. And then we have the dirty keto. So is anyone out there dirty keto? You can go ahead and comment dirty in the comments. I would love to see that. So dirty keto is somebody that still stays under 20 grams of total carbs, but they will eat unhealthy foods. So they don't eat clean. So processed foods, maybe takeout, things like that, those that want flexibility in their lifestyle and they're not committed to clean eating is somebody that does dirty keto. So for instance, we talk about this quite often on my page. I'm really big because I'm strict keto. I don't think that, I see a lot of people stalling on their keto journey, and they'll do things like a sugar-free Jell-O pudding or a Jell-O, treat, okay? So all you guys gotta remember, all of these sugar-free things, just because they're sugar-free does not mean it's keto. So if you're dirty keto, that's fair game for you. You don't care, you don't track it, you're just being super flexible in your lifestyle. But I find that the people that are dirty keto the most are the ones that are struggling to lose the weight. So with that being said, if you're only losing a pound a week, or if you're not happy with your progress on your weight loss journey, and if you've been keto more than a month, it may be time to start going from dirty to lazy keto just to a little bit more strict keto. It's not something that you have to go crazy with. You don't necessarily need to track your macros, although I do highly encourage it. But, start making some better choices. I talk about, especially over the summer while I was traveling between New York and Texas and I was staying with friends for a while, I did do a little mini series on keto on the go and how you could go out to fast food places and make some better choices. But honestly, you guys, fast food is not keto. Okay, fast food, I should say, is not keto. So you can make a better choice, but it's not clean eating. It's not really keto. So if you're really unhappy with your progress, start tightening up a little bit and you'll be surprised. A, it's not hard, and B, how much better you feel. So I would recommend also, if you are struggling on your weight loss progress, and if you are struggling, feel free to comment struggle in the comments, because I like to go through after and have private conversations and try and help people. So if you're struggling and you're open to help, just comment and let me know. I do recommend tracking your food for at least 2 weeks just to see what you are eating. I talk about this a lot on my page, but tracking my macros for my first month, everyone wants to know how I became so good at keto. And honestly, it was because I started looking at my food and I was plugging in my food and looking at the numbers, and I saw that my first month, your goal is to be about 20 grams of carbs. I was eating way over that, 40 to 60 grams of carbs. Like, I was nowhere even close. So tracking to me was such a useful tool. So once I got my carbs under control, the next step was learning how to up my healthy fats. And honestly, I do a lot of keto coaching, you guys, and when I work one-on-one with people and I ask to see, their macros and what they're eating. Most people, not I want to say everyone, but most people are not getting near the amount of fat that they need. The whole point of keto is high healthy fats. Healthy fats are where the magic is, you guys. Don't be afraid to eat those healthy fats. It takes fat to burn fat on keto. So if you're not losing weight, you're probably not eating enough fat. And the only way you're going to know that is if you track it, And I'll never forget when I was brand new and I started first learning keto. So if you're having trouble getting your healthy fats in, comment fat in the comments. I'd be curious to see. But I remember when I was brand new and I was just starting to learn, and I thought I was like, eating some fat, and I thought I was doing a good job, and I plugged in my numbers and I'm like, oh my God, that was like only 20 grams of fat. I need 140 for my day. Okay. So I remember when I was brand new trying to get up over 100 grams of fat, how difficult that was. Now I can do it before lunch, especially if I have a bulletproof coffee in the morning. So it's easy once you know what to do. But in the beginning, until you kind of learn that, it can be a little bit challenging. So I hope that helps some of you that are kind of stuck or not happy with your weight loss progress. Hi Rose, welcome, so happy to have you. So, I would say tighten up your keto game, get a little bit closer to strict keto, track your food for a little bit, make sure you're eating enough fat, make sure you're drinking enough water, and make sure you're also getting enough electrolytes, because electrolyte imbalance in the body in keto is so common, and it really is important to make sure that your body body's getting all the proper nourishment and nutrients that it needs to function every single day. Not to mention, you'll feel so much better if you're getting enough electrolytes. So, okay, so my next question I have is, Tanya asked me, is keto safe if you have high blood pressure? So yes and yes. If you have high blood pressure, keto is safe for everyone. I don't know anyone that can't benefit from the keto lifestyle, which is just so exciting. I've gone to, oh, sorry, he's like really begging to be in my arms. I've gone to a bunch of keto conferences lately where I've got to study under some really influential scientists out there in the industry, and it's been so exciting to learn from them and just to learn, you know, how the keto lifestyle really benefits for everyone. So, you know, back in the day it was first started to manage epilepsy, but, you know, it helps people with fat loss, it helps people with autoimmune diseases, it helps people gosh, just everything, literally everything. Thanks for the love, you guys. His name's Bean, so you can say hi. He's always in my Instagram stories if you guys watch my stories at all. So, but it really benefits every single ailment out there, diabetes, you name it, so many things that the keto lifestyle can help with, including heart health. So it's very good for heart health. So what I would say to you is I've seen in my keto group especially, a lot of people are able to come off blood pressure medication, which is so exciting, and improve the quality of their heart health. So first things first, I do want to say I am not a doctor, okay? So make sure I can't give any medical advice or recommendations. I'm just talking about facts and clinical studies that are out there. If you go to Google, you will see all of these things. But I would encourage you to get yourself a doctor if you have an ailment or any of these things that we're talking about, or high blood pressure. Definitely find yourself a doctor that's knowledgeable about keto, because I will say, you know, we're getting a little bit better in the United States, but it makes me sad when I'm chatting with people who go to their doctor who's just still not knowledgeable yet about the keto lifestyle. Some doctors just don't know. It's not that they're bad doctors, but you know, it's starting to slowly become more common and more embraced now. And I hate so many people to get bad information. So if you talk to your doctor and they just don't know enough, or they say no, I would encourage you to get a second opinion. Get yourself a really good doctor that's knowledgeable on keto, and come up with a plan together that will help to support you on the keto lifestyle. So I'm loving that Lori just said she recently came off her blood pressure meds after 7 months on keto. Girl, yes, high fives. I am so excited for you. Thanks for sharing that story. So, yeah, you can definitely improve your health so much. So don't just go by the first no, please. And not to say that your doctor isn't good, but like I said, there's just still like a large following of doctors that don't know yet. So the other thing is, if you're really concerned about high blood pressure and heart health, there is an amazing thanks, Shelly. I was like, oh gosh, she didn't like something I said. But anyhow, there is a very famous cardiologist out there, and I've got to see him speak live several times at some of my keto events that I've been to. And his name is Dr. David Diamond. Dr. David Diamond. I almost said his name wrong. And he talks a lot about heart health, especially, and how high fat is very good for the heart and how it helps to reduce blood pressure, and how and he talks about the myth of cholesterol. And honestly, when I first started keto, I was scared. So if you were scared too at some point, go ahead and comment scared in the comments. I was scared of all the fat, because they teach us growing up that, you know, fat is bad for your heart and I thought all of this grass-fed butter and all these fatty meats and everything, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack, right? So it can be a little scary. So I watched Dr. David Diamond's presentation about heart health and the myth of cholesterol, and he immediately won me over. So I would love to share that resource with you. So when we're done, I'll give you his YouTube presentation. It's about an hour long, but if you're passionate about heart health and your blood pressure and things like that, I think it's a very useful documentary for people to watch to feel more comfortable about the keto lifestyle. Because let's face it, you guys, if you're just doing low carb and you're not getting the fats in, you're not keto, you're low carb. And for those of you that want to be low carb and that's your decision, I fully support that. But for me, low carb wasn't enough. Just cutting the carbs made me feel starving to death. I was hungry all the time. I was tired and exhausted. It wasn't until I got those healthy fats in. The fats are really where the magic is. It's the secret sauce. It's what sustains you. It's what helps you to feel full and happy, and it gives your body the fuel that it needs. So I just worry about people that are low carb and they're not getting those healthy fats in. There's no fuel for the body, so it struggles, right? So Lori's saying her recent blood work, her A1C and everything was fabulous. Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm so happy for you. So yeah, I'll make sure I share that presentation. I'll put it in the link in the post here once we're done, so you guys can watch that presentation if you're curious. So cool. So if you guys are loving the content so far, go ahead and give me some hearts. Please share the video out. Don't forget to friend me and follow me. I would appreciate to connect with you. And yeah, Teresa said that must be me because I've been tired. Yeah, I mean, the whole magic of keto is your body has two potential fuel sources. It can use glucose, which is sugar, or it can use fat. So fat is a much better source of fuel than glucose is. And just think about your normal glucose lifestyle. Let's say you're not keto and you go out and you have a big, my family's Italian, so I tend to relate to this. You go out and you have a high carby Italian pasta dinner with, you know, bread and cheese and pasta and breadsticks and all of the things. Even if you have a salad in there, there's so much carbohydrates that what happens right after a high carb meal, or what happens after a big meal like Christmas, the holidays, Thanksgiving, right after you want to sleep within like 30 minutes, right? Everyone wants to take a nap after their high carb meal. That's because your body's being overrun with glucose and it really isn't the best fuel source. So now think about how you feel after a really nice high fat meal that you've had with protein and healthy high fats. You feel great. You feel like you could go to the gym. You feel happy. I don't know. I feel amazing when I get all of those healthy fats in, and I can go for long periods of time without eating as a result of getting those healthy fats in. And that's one of my favorite parts about keto. Feel free to share with me in the comments what some of your favorite parts are, but one of my favorite parts about keto is that I'm not hungry all of the time like I used to be, and I love not being a prisoner to food anymore. Food doesn't control me like it used to. So, and that's all thanks to the healthy fats. So you may want to try tracking for a week or two and see where your fats are at, and then try and get them higher. And I have lots of great videos on my page where I teach you guys how you can incorporate more healthy fats. So yeah, and feel free to get in my inbox, send me a private message if you want a little bit of help. I'm happy to help you. So cool. So I've got my last question, you guys. Kelly asked me, she said, my biggest issue is that I overeat and I eat the wrong foods, but only on the evenings. Work hours are controllable. She also said, I need ideas to help with habit or boredom eating, and I thought this question was so good. So how many of you guys can relate? If you can relate, go ahead and leave me some hand emojis in the comments, or you can say me. Do I have any emotional eaters or recovering binge eaters out there? I know that's me. I'm an emotional eater and I'm a recovering binge eater, okay? So if that's you, go ahead and leave me some of your favorite carb emojis in the comments. So I kind of picked this apart, and I'm really excited to share some of the things I came up with for this. So if this is you, make sure you stay tuned. So I would imagine, I didn't get to chat with her one-on-one, but I would imagine that the reason why she's successful during the work hours, during the work day, is because she probably sets herself up for success. I imagine that she brings a lunch and snacks to her job, and that's why she's fine, because she's bringing foods with her that help to support her on her keto journey during her day. So I was thinking about how then can we bring those habits that she has during the day that are good ones into the evening hours and make it a little bit easier. And I'm seeing so many people are commenting saying, me, I'm a recovering emotional and binge eater, so I feel you, me too. I usually go live on Tuesdays and share my story, but it was my friend's birthday, so I'm going to be sharing my story later this week with you guys. But a big part of my story is about the emotional binge eating that I used to really suffer from. So I really know what that feels like. So how can we bring those good habits that you have during the day into your evening lifestyle and into your routine? So first things first, maybe you can have a meal plan set up or have foods at the ready in your slow cooker, in your Instapot, in your air fryer. That way you can have quick, easy and delicious food. And for me to be successful on keto, this was the kicker for me. I needed quick, easy, delicious food. I'm very comfortable in the kitchen now, which is such a joy. But when I first started, you guys, I don't really like to cook. I like it now. I've learned to enjoy cooking over the past almost 2 years I've been keto. But when I first started, I hated cooking. I was fat because I love to eat, but I do not like to cook. So I was a hot mess in the kitchen. So it needed to be super simple, super quick, easy and delicious. And I worked a very busy corporate job where I worked anywhere from 40 to 60 hour work weeks, a lot of unpaid overtime. So sometimes the idea of coming home and then having to worry about food and cooking for myself was so daunting, which was one of the reasons why I was over 200 pounds, was because I was constantly ordering out for dinner. Okay, so that's why I say quick, easy, delicious food. So you may want to, if you haven't invested yet in some of the new tools that we have out there, like an Instapot, an air fryer, a slow cooker, I got an air fryer and Instapot and I thought I was gonna die. It just changed the whole keto game for me so much, and it made keto so much easier. The whole idea that I could have dinner in 10 minutes with little prep, with little work, was really life-saving to me. So, think about doing maybe experimenting with some new kitchen tools and investing in those. Those were a huge help to me. Also, make sure you have, so I don't meal plan, you guys. So if you meal plan, share with me in the comments. You can comment meal plan or say I don't or whatever, but I personally don't like to meal plan. It just is very overwhelming to me. I get how it could be a useful resource for some people. Hi Edna, welcome. But for me, it just doesn't fit. It's scary, overwhelming. It's just a burden to me. I don't like it. And what I love about keto is that in 5 minutes, I can find something to make up for dinner. But the key is, as long as you have all of the right ingredients. So another way I think that you can really set up for your keto success is to make sure you have an awesome grocery haul. So I do at least, usually once a week, I do a grocery haul video on my page. So if you need help with groceries, go back and watch some of my last 3 videos. I give you guys lots of great feedback and resources, when I share my grocery hauls. So you need to make sure your kitchen is stocked with all of the right stuff. If you have all the right stuff there, then you can make a great keto dinner quick and easy without even having to worry about meal prepping. And yeah, I love my Ninja Foodie too. I was blessed. One of my best friends gave me a Ninja Foodie as a housewarming gift, and I use it every single day. I'm obsessed. So for those of you that don't know, real quick, the Ninja Foodie is an Instapot, slow cooker, and an air fryer all in one tool. So instead of having 3 machines like I used to, I just have one now, and it's amazing. So if you don't have any of those tools that I mentioned, definitely check out the Ninja Foodie. I highly recommend it. I really like it a lot. So the key to success, I was saying, is to make sure you have a really strong grocery haul with lots of keto food and ingredients to support your week. And if you don't like to plan like I do, you can get by with knowing that you have all of the right ingredients, okay? And if you need help, and if you're brand new, if you're new keto, you can comment new keto in the comments. But if you need help with a great grocery list, go ahead and comment list in the comments. I can get you an invite into my keto group. I've got meal plans and grocery lists in there and great resources for you that I can get to you to help support you on your keto journey. So what I used to do back when I had my busy corporate job was, in the morning on my way out the door, I would take some meat out of the freezer. Whether it was chicken, ground beef, wings, what have you, any kind of meat, pork, I would just grab the first thing that I saw, grab it, and prep it for defrosting while I was at work all day. So, and then what I used to do was on my lunch break, and you don't need to take a lot of time, and I actually learned to enjoy this process. I would look forward to getting just 5 to 10 minutes to myself on my lunch break, and I would sit down and I would pull out Pinterest. So do you guys all know what Pinterest is? It's an amazing free application. So if you love Pinterest, let me know in the comments. If you don't have it, please download it. It's an amazing resource for those of you that are keto. So what I would do is I would pull out Pinterest and I would say, and whatever meat I took out. So let's say I took out chicken. I would do easy keto chicken recipe. And I would just type it in, and you would literally get hundreds of recipes. And the cool thing about Pinterest, for those of you that don't know, is you can make an electronic board. So on my Pinterest profile, I've got a board that says keto recipes, and it's full of hundreds of recipes that I've spot checked, that I've looked at, and I thought, great. So when I know that I want to cook with some ground beef, I can either just go right to my board and look through all my ground beef recipes, or I can search for a brand new one. So yeah, I'm seeing all of the love on Pinterest. It is everything, I'm telling you. So this is why I don't need to meal prep, because I literally can go to Pinterest in 5 minutes, have a recipe, because I know I already have all of the proper ingredients, because I do great grocery hauls every single week. So, and thanks for sharing about that, Amber, about how it's on sale right now. You can save $50. So really cool to know. So I hope some of you guys will go out and treat yourself to some ninja foodies. You definitely deserve it. So that's what I used to do. 5 minutes on my lunch break, I would know what I was gonna have for dinner when I came home. And that's important, because I think setting yourself up for success is part of the deal here. So what I would do is pin the recipe to my board, and as soon as I came home, I would print out the recipe and I would start to prep for cooking right away. Hi Cecilia, welcome. So I need to start cooking. For me, at least on the way my schedule was, I had a busy corporate job, and by the time I got home, I was really tired. So I had to start cooking right away. I would do a few basic chores like walk the dog, and then when I came back, I really had to kind of get right in my kitchen and get going. So for me, this was crucial, because if I sat on the couch and I started to unwind, what would end up happening was I would not get the motivation to go cook, and then guess what happens? You order pizza, you get Chinese food, you run through the drive-through. So I think these little tips and tricks can really kind of help you stay on track. So make sure that you don't let that relaxation mode get in, have a plan, know what you're gonna cook when you come home, and then just kind of come home and get right to it. And the cool thing about keto is the recipes are so quick and easy and delicious that you only have to cook for 10, 15, 20 minutes at most, and then you can sit and enjoy the rest of the night and feel really good about yourself that you did something good for your body. So Alex, I'm sorry that you're hungry and it's late. Maybe make yourself some keto sandwiches real quick. That's what I like to do. Or bacon, egg, and cheese is a nice, quick, easy thing if you need to eat. So let's see what else I have here. Oh, also make sure you have your freezer stocked with some fat bombs. So I imagine part of the struggle on the keto lifestyle is I want something sweet and I can't have sweet things. You can if you plan for it, and fat bombs are a really great way to do that. And what I always do is I make myself at least one good keto-friendly treat per week. So recently, you guys, I made keto-friendly blueberry muffins, and I have, 3 or 4 left in a container on my counter. So when I feel the urge, or a lot of times after dinner, I'm looking for something sweet, a sweet treat, I can go have a blueberry muffin, and it's nice and high in fat, and it supports my keto macros, and it actually helps me lose weight, and I can enjoy it, and it's totally delicious. So I try and rotate it. So every week I'll try a brand new sweet treat that I've never made before, and of course I go back to some of my favorites quite often. But yeah, have some sweet keto-friendly approved treats in your arsenal. Now, I always say this about the sweet treats, don't go crazy with them. You know, you can't have like 4 or 5 keto cookies because they could potentially stall your fat loss, but I'd rather see you eat a keto cookie than go grab a chocolate bar. So, oh, curious about what my t-shirt says? It says The Empire. So this is the name of my team for my online business. So, and we do the rhinos because rhinos run hard and they never give up. So Lori said, I made keto death by chocolate cupcakes this week. That sounds spectacular. One of my favorite keto treats is I did, you can find the recipe on my page, by the way, but I did chocolate sour cream keto muffins. So they're moist from the sour cream, and they also had like a cup of like espresso or coffee in them, and they taste really delicious. The coffee really brings out the deep, dark, velvety chocolate flavor. So yes, with the mint chip milkshake, I love it. So yeah, I did something similar to a keto peanut butter cup. I mean, it didn't look like a traditional one. I made fat bombs. So they were chocolate peanut butter cheesecake balls, and they taste just like a peanut butter cup. So they're the little balls, they've got some cream cheese in them, they've got chocolate and peanut butter, and I think they taste just like a peanut butter cup. So I have that recipe on my page, I can tag you in it, but that's one of my favorite go-to recipes for sure. So let me see here, I totally got lost track, but I'm loving all the participation. Thanks for commenting. So, okay, so we were talking about making sweet treats, so that's why we were doing that. The other tip that I have for you is to start thinking about starting a fasting practice. So for me, I found that fasting was a very intuitive way for me to start learning my body and learning when I'm actually hungry and thirsty. So once I started fasting, I became more aware of my boredom eating, if that makes sense. So I love to eat. I love the way food tastes. I'm a big eater. I used to be a binge eater. So I found that a lot of times I was just eating for no reason. So, I mean, obviously, the whole point of eating is for sustenance, to sustain your life, your body, and all of that. So, you know, I think at some point, a lot of us lose that disconnect and we just eat just because we like it. And a fasting practice for me has really given me the opportunity to find out, am I really hungry right now, or do I just want to eat? And I find that 9 times out of 10, I'm actually not hungry. I'm just munching because I want to. So I always encourage you to start slow with fasting. So go slow with it, but as you start to increase your fasting window and you go a little bit longer and a little bit longer and a little bit longer, you start to gain control over your eating habits and really just start to learn your body and get very intuitive with it and just start to realize for instance, I think I posted in my Instagram stories today that I was going to fast today because I celebrated a birthday party and I was 70 days. Can you guys believe this? I was 70 days strict keto with no cheats. So it was like, what, 2 months and 10 days? And I did. I broke my keto yesterday to have cake and pizza. And I'm not even guilty about it. I don't even feel badly about it because I'm already living the lifestyle. This is something I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. So here and there, within reason, it's okay to celebrate. I'm really big about balance, you guys, but you just gotta stay on track and don't do it all the time. So I had planned on fasting most of the day today to compensate for that reintroduction of glucose back into my system. So I was doing well all day long. I hit like 4, 5, 6 o'clock and all of a sudden I became starving and I was trying to push through it and my body was clearly telling me that it wanted to eat. So even though I wanted to fast, I listened to my body and I had some food, you know? So it's like, because I can tell the difference now between when I'm being weak, when I want to eat, and all of the things. Like, does that kind of make sense? So the more you do it, the easier it gets to be. I can tell when I'm like, oh, I just want to eat and I'm being lazy versus my body is actually telling me I need food right now. And that's what my body was telling me today. So I went ahead and honored it because that's what it needed. And that's the whole point of eating, is to sustain your body. So, I think, starting slow with fasting can really help you to start to understand that you don't need to eat at a certain time. You don't need to eat just because like you packed goodies in your lunchbox. That used to be something I used to struggle with when I had my corporate job. I would put lots of keto snacks in there, and a lot of times I would go to eat them and I realized I wasn't hungry. I just wanted to eat them because they were there and they were yummy. So try and wait for when your body is actually telling you it needs food, versus just eating all of the food, okay? Which I know we all struggle with. So, and then the last tip that I have for you is to do some exercise and light movement. It's a great way to combat boredom eating. So especially when I'm doing my extended fasts, usually once a month I'll do a 60-hour fast. So if I feel like I want to eat, but I'm not necessarily hungry, one of my favorite things to do is to go out and take the dog for a quick walk. We will walk around the block, we'll play with him and we'll run around the apartment, and, we have our silly shenanigans that we like to do together. So, but it's just a really great way to elevate your heart rate just a little bit. And once that happens, I'm satisfied. I find as soon as my heart rate gets up a little bit, I don't have the urge to eat anymore. So that definitely helps me with curbing that boredom eating. If you feel bored, get up, go for a quick walk, get outside, enjoy the weather. Hopefully you're in an area where it's beautiful and you can enjoy it, and you'll find that it gets you right back on track. So those were all my tips and tricks that I had for you guys tonight. So I hope that you all learned a few things. If you did, don't forget to friend me and follow me and share out the video. And I do have a great little keto trick that I do to help me get back into ketosis every single day. So if you're curious about my keto trick, you can comment trick in the comments. And if you'd like to be a part of my secret recipe group, go ahead and comment group in the comments here, and I would love to get you an invite. So thanks for jumping on so late tonight, you guys. I appreciate you and I love you. And I'll be back tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday. I'm hoping to do some cooking tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see how the day presents. So thanks, you guys. Have a great night, and I'll be back to chat with you again soon. Take care.